Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to Life with Brock. If you end up liking the content, consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with a nerd friend. Let's go. Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to This Week in Customs. I am your host, Brock. If you're new to this show, I go to Instagram and look up the world of custom action figures, specifically in the 1/12 scale, and just showcase the amazing work from these very, very talented artists. And every week, we have a contest. Last week, the winner of the fan vote with his amazing Doomsday VLS Customs killed it, and the people voted for your custom. Great work. I am going to be doing something interesting, at least I think so. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so keep your eye out for it. I'm going to have a championship edition. I've been wanting to declare the Q1 champion, the Q2 champion, the Q3 champion, and finally the Q4 champion. And at the end of the year, pit their customs against each other in a free-for-all. Winner takes all. Champion of This Week in Customs. We will see how that plays out. Keep your eyes peeled on my social media. I will be declaring something soon. All right, so let's get going this week. And if you've been paying attention to the TV, Amazon Prime has been showcasing this show called The Boys. If you haven't read the comics, by the way, you have to be an adult. I cannot recommend it for anyone under the age of 18 because it is an adult-oriented show, very violent. There's some sexual connotations and stuff in there. Connotations, that's putting it lightly. But anyways, here we have the Dark McKnight with some of the boys. Now let's get on to some of his customs. Here's A-Train. I love this one. I think this may have been my favorite from the ones that he did. It captures the character very well. This is not the Deep Witches. This is the Black Noir or something like that. Very interesting character, great storyline. These are the first the boys customs I've seen on Instagram, so man, kudos to you. Here's another one, Boys Toys 528. Here he has the I almost called them the Highlander. No, this is going to be the Homelander. The Homelander character. He is the main good guy slash bad guy. I won't say any more because I definitely don't want to do any spoilers, but check out that show if you're over the age of 18. All right, Harker Customs with this Doctor Doom, his version of Doctor Doom. I think he's using a Mythic Legions figure, and obviously Harker does a lot of soft goods. We are getting a Doctor Doom here pretty soon, and the word on the street is that Harker is going to be putting out some soft goods for that character. This one was one that he did for Gange Wifre, a guy that I know from Instagram. This was a custom action figure that he commissioned from him. So good job on that. Enough said customs, moving on. This is an artist I frequently feature on here, and he's got a very unique style. I definitely dig it. Here's a repaint slash mod slash custom of an Angela figure, and he's done just a fantastic job. It looks very good. You're going to hear me use these same adjectives because all these customizers are so talented. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. She looks fantastic. Yeah, there you go. There's a still shot of her. Moving on to some other Mezco style customs right now. Sasha right here is doing a Hawkeye, and I dig it. Very cool. I'm going to assume that you did all the soft goods yourself. That's not easy to do, man. I like the accessories. Very eye-catching. Brimstone's Ghost. For some reason, all these customs run in my mind together, and I feel like I've showcased them in the show before. I don't remember. But yeah, man. This looks really, really good. This Adam Warlock custom. Dig the soft goods. Very, very nice. And he's obviously updated the version that we got from Hasbro. But I like the design of this one just slightly better, man. Not slightly better, a lot better. I'd rather have this than the other one that they put out. All right. Falcone Customs. Here he's got a soft goods. This is a different uniform, or I should say paint apps on the uniform. Obviously he's using the soft goods. He's gone with like a chrome dome, and he's gone with just the basic yellow and green. There's the classic outfit, and then the classic outfit has some modifications, and obviously the new one we just got with the Spider-Man movie. Here's another Mezco style customs, Chimera Concepts Customs. He did that Red Tornado not too long ago. This is actually a pretty cool looking figure. Really like how that face turned out. It's a very attractive face, and this is a bulky guy, and it looks like our articulation is pretty cool. I'm wondering what you're using underneath there. It's a DC comic Wildcat. I'm not really familiar with this storyline or actually this character, but look at him. He's ready to go, man. Yeah, he's a beefy dude. Not typical of a Wildcat, but man, there you go. There's some scale options for your Mezco display. Really cool looking character, Wildcat. All right, Doro Monstacado. Here he has Talia Al Ghul. Yeah, man. Oh yeah. Oh, you need some translation, guys, but she looks pretty darn good. I'm going to show you what I like. Really, what this customizer does. He focuses on the hair, and I don't know why the video is not playing. There we go. It was a slight delay. And the way he sculpted it, first of all, great job on the sculpt. He's obviously using some form of Procreate or softer putty that cures pliable. And what I like about that, the hair looks dynamic, windswept or whatever, but you're going to actually be able to pose this head on a neck hinge because of the way he's worked on the hair. Oftentimes the hair is just put down, and it's very difficult to pose the female figures looking up, looking down, just depending on how their hairdo is. So this one looks very nice. Here is a work in progress of that. And I should probably just turn down the volume here, just in the event I get hit with a copyright strike. I don't want that. But thank you very much for showing your progress. I saw in there that you may be putting out a tutorial on how you do your hair. I would love to see that. And the rest of us would most definitely appreciate it because it looks like you got something good going. Just like Draw Customs has here, he's working on this cable custom, and now as you can see how he's developing his custom or his sculpt layers. I know that he's been working hard on this customs. Looking forward to see, he's still progressing there. He still has a lot of work even to do here. You can tell he's just building on his sculpt, and he still needs to smooth some of that sculpt out. I'm sure he'll be doing some sanding, but that's just his base layer he's laying down. And man, I'm looking forward to this cable custom, looking pretty cool. Dan Toy Toys, this is just gonna be a thing, a bust that he's sculpting, and I just want to show some amazing people working on their skill. Now I'm curious of what putty he's using, because maybe there's something that we can pick up, those of us that haven't been sculpting for very long. There you can see where he starts. Obviously he's done something different with the eyes. He's not actually sculpting the eyes. He's going to keep that as a cavity, and then he's building around it. And this is how you can see how he builds to more and more definition eventually. Looking forward to seeing how this thing finishes, and I'm sure you're going to paint it after you are done. And speaking of awesome head sculpts, Big Head Studios, I really like what they got going on here. This is a dark beast head. They put out a couple other ones for beast, but I think this one was the standout of the group. I'm definitely in for one of these, man. Yeah, I want to do a dark beast, right? That's the problem. All these cool custom products that are coming out, man, I dig it. All right, so we've been following this one. Mark High Lab Creations always kills it. He's got such a unique style. He pumps out these customs like it's super easy for him, barely an inconvenience. Look at this thing, man. Say what? Is this even in the comic right now? A Venomized Weapon H. I've read the Weapon H comic. They're not too great. This is better than anything I've already seen out there Weapon H related. Wow, man, that looks awesome. That head is sick. Awesome custom work. Speaking of awesome customs, Super Tom Customs, he did this 3 3/4 scale strife. It was a commissioned piece. I saw, if you want to go take a look at his page, he's actually doing something right now. I think he's calling it the Figure Collective or something along that line, where he's offering custom products like this head right here, Reed Richards, bearded head, painted head. If you're interested, go take a look at them. Where is it? I was hoping that you'd have the name of your the store. I think it's called The Figure Collective. If I don't have it right, just go to his page, and I'm sure you'll see the links to that page there. All right, man. D2 Customs. This is straight up fire. When I think of Cannonball, this is the uniform that I think him having. This is an absolutely gorgeous customs. I'm wondering if you're gonna do a base for him. I would love to see how your take of it is, because your take of bringing him off that comic book page onto the medium that is a Marvel Legend. That is such outstanding work, and he's not even finished. He says he still have a month to go. I wanna see where this custom goes. That is fire. Rye Customs with one of my favorite characters right here, Red Hood. This is the first time I think that I've seen this Punisher head used for him, and I think it works. It's definitely a stylized Red Hood. And there you have it. There you have him with the Joker. Yeah, he doesn't mess around. I dig it. Yeah, good look. Making sure I'm getting through all your photographs there, showing your work. All right, Vengeance Dragon X using the Omega Red body, whereas where we should have had that saber tooth that Hasbro just put out. I think they missed the boat in not being patient and rolling him out on this buck, because I'm telling you right now, that is the perfect size for Sabretooth. Sabretooth is super imposing. I would love to see the Sabretooth next to the Wolverine that Hasbro put out, because I think they scale super well. And yeah, man, great job on this custom. I'm sure we're gonna be seeing a lot more Sabretooths on this body. As a matter of fact, as soon as that Omega Red came out, I know I wanted to do one, and I know of other customizers that want to do the same thing. I think you've executed that on that body very, very well. Lewin Aiden's customs, he's got 3 customs here, but the one I wanted to highlight is that Dark Side. He's using the Mezco shoulder pad, so that's not an that's a pretty expensive shoulder piece that you're using there on this, but I like it. I think that's going to be the Marvel Select Rhino, which is a great body for this. Marvel Select, by the way, if you're interested in using that Marvel Select Rhino, that figure's super expensive, but guess what, guys? Let me tell you a little secret. On eBay, there's a KO for like 20 bucks. So if you need that body, jump on it. I think that custom looks pretty good. Beast, and he's still working on it. All right, Pigment Surgery, which I couldn't remember the character name. I know she looks familiar to me, like Ventress, maybe. Maybe that's exactly who it is. Asajj Ventress. Love the soft goods on here. That head is absolutely gorgeous. You did a great job. And he's got other things on here, but I'm just gonna say right now, if you cringe, beware right now, because I'm about to show you a photograph that could happen to you if you're customizing, and there it is. Oops. That happens to all of us at some point in time. If you're doing custom action figures, you're gonna cut yourself. So be careful when you're customizing kiddos. I know there aren't that many kids that are watching this show right now. We have, the majority of my viewers are adults, but if you're a kid or a child under the age of 18, players, beware. It's dangerous, but it's all worth it. All right, action figure Mike with this cool looking knight. He's calling it a Mythic Legion style Teutonic Knight, and I do like it. These Mythic Legions, they do give us this style from medieval times that just looks fantastic. I don't have any of these figures, so I don't know exactly what parts he's brought together. It looks like he's used a coat from Jon Snow, one of the Jon Snow action figures, but I think it's by NECA. Yeah, that's definitely a Jon Snow cape, it looks like. But it's just outstanding looking. I know there's a couple customizers like Nikki Nicole that she drops in some of these Mythic Legions customs, and they just look so outstanding, these pieces. And I'm wondering if it's just a kit bash, and then you just got to work on your paint, and voila, you got a beautiful piece on your hand. Like this Batman right here, Keaton Batman, it's vintage. You nailed the look of this guy. That is a dynamite looking custom. It's vintage. He drops a ton of customs on a weekly basis. Domenico Garcia. Wow, dude. Excellent, excellent custom. This is going to be the Weapon Omega from the Apocalypse series tie-ins, and Hasbro is actually going to be releasing one of these guys here pretty soon. Age of Apocalypse, I should say, Wolverine. Now I call them Weapon Omega, but I know the Weapon Omega has a different costume. Is this a different version of, or is this a different? I'm forgetting his character name, but obviously if you've read Age of Apocalypse, you're going to be familiar with this character. Really good job on that head, good job on the paints. And I love that body for Wolverine. Obviously, it's intended for him. Wentzilla, him and a few other dudes are creating this storyline. Go to his Instagram and take a look at what they're doing. They're developing. It's in the mix right now. I don't know too much about it, but go check it out to see where they go. They're developing their own storyline, and they're calling it Earth 16 or Earth X16. Or is that going to be Earth? Is that going to be like Earth 26? I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to say it with a Roman numeral or not. What's the X? Is that 100? 116? Or is that? I thought it was a 10. I don't remember now. I don't know. I got caught slipping on that one, but this cable looks pretty dope, and they're using, I think he may be the main character in their storyline. Todd's action figure customs. Here we have like a Punisher style using that new, what is that? What's the guy, Iron Man's buddy? War Machine, there you go. It's using, every time that somebody uses this body in a custom, I like it better than what Hasbro released. So maybe I'm thinking it's the paint deco that I don't like, but this looks pretty dope. I like to see him weaponized like that. Here's, speaking of weaponized, Kilo Echo Arts with this weaponized Venom right here. He's got a transitioning head, looking pretty dope. And Kilo Echo Art has something else in the works, and I'll be unveiling it here pretty soon. Super excited about that. Can't wait to get it in my hands. Oh yeah, players. Super excited. All right, back to this custom. As you can see, he's completely geared him up. And he's used the Caliban body. Actually, one of the first times I've seen a Caliban body used for Venom. So it must be like a monster Venom. What did you title him? Oh, okay, Godslayer Venom. There you go. Is that from a storyline? I haven't read it. I've read the Godslayer, but that was a Thor comic, right? I've read so many comics, the storylines sometimes just blur together. All right, Moon Knight Custom, right here by Ooks Figures. And I'm thinking, who did you use for here? This is, well, actually, not at all what I thought it was going to be. He's used a Marvel Legends Mr. Knight. Oh, actually, that's the custom name, but it's a mashup of a White Ranger and a Nick Fury. A White Ranger and a Nick Fury. For some reason, I thought that you had used one of those new baddies from Jazzware. Here's the video. Now you can see the articulation right there. It is from the White Power Ranger. I dig that figure. Matter of fact, I just bought that figure. I'm whispering so my wife doesn't hear me. There it is. So that's the figure that he used underneath, and he obviously kit bashed it, and he made a Moon Knight out of it. I'm expecting more Moon Knights to come, since those white suited figures are perfect for that custom. All right, Cam's custom figure, rolling out a couple of customs right here. MCU, Spider-Man, and Ronin, looking pretty sweet. They're looking pretty decent, comic accurate. I don't know how long Cam's been customizing, but I think these came out pretty good, and I think I like that armor piece that you have on the Ronin figure. Tomcat Customs here doing just a fantastic repaint, weather job, well, customizing right there, right? Because look, he's got some of those, what would you call it, bullet marks, explosion marks off Iron Man's armor. And yeah, man, that is a great job. Great paint on here, super clean and dirty at the same time. Dig it. Korriban Customs, these are works in progress. That Joker head is fantastic. You can go back to his page and you can see him working on the hair. The hair, brother, came out fantastic, really good. You notice I'm just using the word fantastic this week. It's my word of the week. You can play a drinking game. I don't recommend it because I've said it a ton of times. You're gonna get alcohol poisoning. Okay, and Ra's al Ghul, he looks like he's practically finished. Really nice work on that. Man, I need a Roz in my collection. I don't have a Ra's al Ghul. Aero custom figures with Bane. This is a movie style Bane right now. Which body did he use? It looks like it is I was gonna say Marvel Legend, but that looks like it's a single jointed elbow, so that may actually be from a DC figure. I can't tell. I like the, I guess they're ninjas in the background with Bane. I can't remember, that's what his foot soldiers look like in the movie? Joseph Castle, here's one of the first repaints I've seen with the Nightcrawler that we just got from Hasbro. Really nice looking figure. By the way, Plastic Addict reviewed it on his channel last night, and he compared it to the Nightcrawler that Toy Biz gave us, and man, I think Toy Biz gave it a run for its money. I don't know if it lost its spot. Go take a look at that video from Plastic Addict and you'll see what I mean. James Rosebarrow doing a little bit of souping up with his Colossus. He added like a blue hue. He weathered up his suit. Same with Dope's Toys New York. The Blood Knight, which is a cool looking figure, dude. Look at the helmet by his foot right there. That's a dope figure. These Mythic Legions. Man, I cannot get into another line of toys, man, but I can feel the pull. And what he's done here, he's just goried him up even more. Looks great. And speaking of a repaint, here Johnny Walker Customs. By the way, this guy does 3D printing of Star Wars. He's a pro at Star Wars. You should go take a look at his page. And he does sell and take commissions. So if you're into Star Wars and you need somebody to work on a project for you, hit John Walker Customs up and let him know that Brock sent you. All right, moving on to another Star Wars custom figure. This is a very nicely weathered. That guy's been through a battle. He made that base. Sho'nuff did this. He calls it a battle-hardened stormtrooper, and sure enough, he looks like he's been in war. Weapon X Customs. He's going to have a couple of repaints right here, and perfect example. I think Hasbro did a great job, in my opinion, with that Sasquatch. Maybe a little bit undersized for Sasquatch. It would have been great if he was a little bit taller. However, everything else about this figure, the fur, the sculpting, is pretty awesome. And here he's done a repaint of that figure. Same with this Jackal that he did. There's the base figure on the left, what he's done on the right, and you can tell a little love on the figure can turn a base action figure from Hasbro or any other company that's in that pretty much $20 range and make it look like a premium action figure. James Roseborough again with a repaint of Chonies. What's his name again? I messed myself up because I called him the Chonies. He's not Aquaman, he's the other guy. Come on, oh gosh, trust me guys, I know his name, I promise you, I just can't think of it at this moment. His name is not Aquaman. All right, here we go. Cannonball. Cannonball didn't come with legs. It looks like he's using that X-Men from X-Force. He's right there. I'm looking at him in my collection right now. He's in my Detolf Star. Shatterstar. Finally, thank goodness. Thank goodness you wrote it in there, because I'm sweating right now because I can't remember anybody's name. Namor! I just remembered Namor's name. Namor. Chonies Namor. What? I know you guys are talking trash in the comments. I had to come back. Whew! Thank goodness I came back from that one. It took me a while though. All this is ad-lib, guys. Give me a break. Ad-lib. Ace Outlaw Customs. He has this Wendigo right here. And you're going, well, what did he do? Oh, that's what he did. He shut his mouth. Cool. He just, well, if you want to see what he did, go to his page. It's a little bit of a slice job, a little bit of sculpting and glue, and, well, and maybe a little bit of painting. I actually don't know if he painted that. He may have had to paint it. I don't know. He does such clean work. Sometimes he doesn't even have to repaint his figures. His cuts are so good. All right, moving to the next. Yeah, Legion, you captured this guy's psychotic look. And I'm rushing through here because you have quite a few of these customs that you dropped. If you're a customizer and you want to be featured on the show, make sure you hashtag your work with This Week in Customs. And give me a break, guys. You know, stagger them a little bit. That way I can spend a little bit more time talking about your custom action figures, especially this Albert that looked fantastic. I think you captured his look very well. And you also did this Exodus action figure. Good work on all those 3 customs. Shroud Savage, I feel like I featured this one last week, but I couldn't remember. And this is definitely one of my favorite G.I. Joes, Firefly, using that Jazzware figure. I may actually have to do a couple of custom G.I. Joes because Jazzware did give us the base for a couple. I think this one looks really good. I like that secondary head that you did. Obviously, he's just not just putting it that body. He's doing a little bit more work to that body. He's going to give him, you saw this, it looked like that was the, he had some chevrons on his sleeves. And yeah, there's some other custom action figures, G.I. Joe custom action figures that he's done. And this is the John Walker customs that I was telling you about. He 3D prints these, right? I mean, I can't believe the beautiful detail on this. And is this a 1/12 scale? Because I know that Black Series released one, but it wasn't quite 1/12 scale. Now this thing does look like it's, look at the head on that chicken walker, man. Great job. Pixel Phantom with, we have a Spawn figure, and there you go. He said he had taken some garbage photos and he got himself a new camera, and these photos are a lot clearer than what you had. Sibmeister Toys, Eddie the Head. Now, you have to know who Iron Maiden is to know who this is. There's this custom action figure. I'm sure he's playing music in the background, and that's what the video was showing, so I'm not gonna play that, player. All right, Dead Hood Customs with his version 2 of Red Hood, and it does look nice. I like that new costume, and I think I featured that one last week. Now I'm seeing a couple that are repeating themselves. I apologize if I did, but hey, if you're the customizer, you got to show them twice. All right, Armstrong Newton with this Captain Rex in his Phase 1 armor. And there you go, he sculpted the pauldron himself. You can see some of his works in progresses in the shot. Speaking of a custom head, Rudy's Custom Figures did this really nice looking old man Logan head. Yeah, I dig it. And he wasn't quite done. That was still a work in progress. Another G.I. Joe custom, G.I. Joe Forever, with his version 1 of Lady J, and she does look pretty good. I like the use of the wasp head for that custom. Here is another Juggernaut by Arrow Custom Action Figures. This, I think I've seen you do one of these before. Which version is this? This one, I think it's like a second version for you. And there you can see the body he used. I think that's a Storm Collectibles, man. Is that a Storm Collectibles? I don't have any Storm Collectible figures at this point in my collection, but I think that's what that was. Just Figure It Out did this Deadpool. If you're a customizer, you're gonna try a Deadpool at some point in your customizing journey. Here's his attempt at it. I know I did one early on. He's actually a fairly easy character to do because he doesn't have that many paint apps. You just have to get the red and the black done right and then weapon him up. This 52G, this is a original concept to him, and I don't know what it is about it, but I absolutely love it. I love the bigness of those arms, how in contrast with that smaller body. And that's not a really small body. That looks like it's going to be the Hyperion bug, but man, those arms, the head. Which one was that? It was that British superhero. He looks like he's sculpted a little bit more, or he sculpted on that crest. And he says that his character name is Rojak in honor of Singapore's. Did I say Singapore? I misspelled. I said it. Singapore. Words are hard sometimes, guys. 54th birthday. He made a superhero based on Badang's mythology. I'm not familiar with Badang's mythology, but obviously, if you're from Singapore, you're going to know exactly what he is referring to. There's the scale size of the action figure. Yeah, dude, that looked good. One more picture. Excellent. Love the arms on there. All right, Pigment Surgery. got me on the feels with this one right here. Those of you that were around in the 80s, those of you that know about War Duke, if you're my age, I actually have that small action figure, the original action figure, still in my collection. And I would love, absolutely love a War Duke in my collection that looks just like that. It looks like he's used Mythic Legions. I'm gonna have to DM you and ask you what, I feel like they may have created one specifically to look like a War Duke, or maybe it's a kit bash that you've had to put it together. I think that's what it is some sort of kit bash. I love the look. By the way, I love the picture too. Great shot of that one. Speaking of Dukes, here's another G.I. Joe custom figure slash Captain America, right? And it's for sale, so if you're interested, hit Token Customs. I think that Captain America head for Duke works really well, and I think you nailed Duke's look. Just running it through so people can see it. And here's a use of, actually this is a fairly expensive figure. What line is this? I know I've seen him in store. This guy's a big dude. An Overwatch figure. Thank you, Left Hook Customs, for the save right there. And obviously he's turned it to look like a Batman, some sort of Batman armor. And I think it works really well. Looks good. Ancient Radical Turtle. I really like the logo. Whenever somebody does a Punisher, the logo is, in my opinion, the most important thing. I think you nailed it on both, on the chest emblem and on the head. I know you pretty much just used what it had, but that looks good. It's a nice looking War Punisher custom. Man, that looks great, dude. Good work on that. And that brings us to the end of the main body. Great customs this week, folks. Thank you so much for submitting it. Please don't have a boo-boo face if your custom was not featured. I go through a ton and I try to mix it up, but I do need to show people that their skill is at a high level, because we need to, we need to shoot for that level. I'll also show people that don't have as great a skill, but they're developing. If you're new to customizing, just know, if you're just gonna be doing like a line on your figures, most likely not gonna get featured. It has to be something a little bit more significant. If it's just a kit bash or just switching a part, it's gonna have to be a little bit more significant than that to make it on the show. I'm just being real with you. So shoot for that. Custom your first action figure if you haven't done so. I hope that doesn't discourage you if you didn't make it. Just keep plugging away. And now let's get to the top 5 for episode 33 of This Week in Custom right now. All right, the first one up for vote is going to be the Dark McKnight Creations A-Train. Number 2 is going to be D2 Customs Cannonball. Number 3, Iron Man by Tomcat Customs. Number 4, Doom by Harker Customs. Number 5, the Weapon H, that is Venomized, or the Venomized Weapon H by Markai Lab Creations. Thank you to all the artists that have submitted customs for this past week and all the previous weeks. Please keep an eyeball on my channel, because I will be releasing another episode of This Week in Customs, a championship edition. More information to follow. Thank you for supporting. Make sure you share this with a nerd friend, and if you haven't done so already, give me a thumbs up, players. See you on the next one. Peace.